for Grand Point North.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
I'm a happy-faced truck today.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The locals love it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Stand by. On my mark.
You survived the workday. Now survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest was Sabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even try, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
It's Monday, and you are tuned in to the show that's hotter than wasabi. That's right. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for Orlando Magic basketball. Tonight, the Magic play the Hawks. So hopefully right after the show, you'll tune into that right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget also you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Red 7T's, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. As always, on a Monday, we got old Jeffrey in here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with a brand-new haircut and a brand-new-looking Ole Miss T-shirt.
It's not brand new.
I mean, it looks like it just because it's looking good.
It's not worn very much, you know.
Yeah, and you're wearing it today, and Ole Miss lost in the SEC tournament but made a big run. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. As always, glad to have the Georgia Bulldog in the house. Bone Crusher is here. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
I had a great weekend. I went to two Dollar Trees. I went to the one on Hutchinson. I went to the one on 15th Street. I went to the Piggly Wiggly on 15th Street, and I played some disc golf on 15th Street.
Wow.
Yeah,
on they got it set up on the street now?
It's a few blocks off. It's off of Balboa. If you go down Balboa, it's behind that Memorial Cemetery.
Okay.
Played the back nine, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Never done that. I've never played disc golf. You ever played disc golf?
I have not, but
you'd be good at it.
right.
Whatever. No.
I've never played, but I'd be the best if I could.
No. I mean, I
won a church league disc golf one time.
Church league. No, I mean, I had a roommate that was into that big time.
Yeah.
Like, he was huge into it, and And I don't know. I don't want to say I laughed at him a little bit, but, you know, I thought, like, Frisbee golf, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh,
they call it.
No. You can't say Frisbee golf.
That's not Frisbee.
That's what I called it.
Frisbee is what you do on the beach.
And we're talking about
disc.
And we're talking about, like, this is like 90, 93, 94. It was a long time ago. And he was all into it.
My son actually loves it. And obviously, it's just like clubs. You know, as far as in the golf course, you have different ones that you throw harder, farther,
right? You
heavier.
got putters, you got mid-rangers, you got drivers.
Yeah, so I've never done it. I'm not very...
So it was on TV 2 nights ago, and I can't remember if it was ESPN or whether it's that like alternative channel where they show like alternative stuff and everything, and they were doing urban disc golf. and it was
What, you had to throw it off the buildings and stuff, or what?
Yes, through nooks and crannies and everything. and they were, of all places, they were downtown Detroit with blighted buildings.
Nice.
And graffiti everywhere and everything. And I was like, I'd have to be like looking over my shoulder if I was in urban
Detroit
disc golf and Detroit.
There you go.
It was a little rough.
I don't know.
This is like that Dollar Tree over on 15th.
Where he goes to get his salmonella lettuce.
I've never stopped there. I just kept on driving,
Garden salad.
Fish oil from a Dollar Tree.
Oh, man.
Got some diseased fishes swimming
it's
around.
like the fish that was on the bottom that they forgot. But either way, good to have everybody here. Don't forget, we will be live this Wednesday night, 4 to 6, live for the show at the Lone Star Boil House. We're going to be having the show right there live there, and it's going to be an awesome time. They're going to have drink specials. They're going to have crawfish specials, all kinds of specials, and it's just going to be a great time. We're going to stay and eat and hang out and talk and all of those things.
You might have lemonade. I might have that Paul's special lemonade.
Tito's
vodka, man.
Whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
That's a Texas thing, actually.
Okay. It is?
It is. And, I don't want to say, how some people are all about America, right?
Yeah.
Vodka was not dominated by American vodkas at all. And Tito's is made in Texas, which is kind of very unusual because, you look at all the big brands, they're all European, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea. All I know is that this week is going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. Want to meet all of our listeners. Man, if you listen to the show, you want to come out there, you don't have to stay the whole time. You can come, stop in, hang out, say hello, grab you some food, get your bracket ready to go because we're going to do a bracket challenge here. Sports Blitz, you need to sign it, put your first and last name and even your phone number down. And during the week of the tournament, all the weeks, we're going to be keeping up with it. Jeff, our in-house accountant, is going to keep up with all the numbers. And there will be a huge prize for first place and a good second place prize, too. So either way, it's going to be a great time. We're going to have some fun.
Let me do this. When I give an update about, let's say, I'll say, who's the top 5, right?
Yeah.
On the Mondays. So after the first 2 rounds and after the third and fourth round, I'll pretty much, say. And then when it gets towards the end, let's see what we have. Final 4 on a Saturday. So I really can't give an update till the Monday. Till Monday. We're in the championship game.
Yeah, but that's going to be okay. Christopher Multiconce said that Jeff avoids 15th Street. So there you go. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to the Red 7T's phone line. We've got Rob on the line. Rob, how you doing today, man?
All right, guys. How are y'all doing today?
We're doing great.
I just wanted to call in and talk about what I call the sports for non-athletes.
All right.
Not to make anybody mad.
Too late. Bone Crusher is crushed.
But you have disc golf, and I don't know what channel, like you said, what channel it was on, but I've watched disc golf. And have you ever watched Roof, ROOF, football?
No, never seen it. Never even heard of it till right now. You just opened my eyes.
ESPN carries it. They're playing at somebody's house in a neighborhood, okay? And they're in the driveway, and they have announcers set up right at the street corner, right there where you go from the street to the driveway. And they're throwing a football up on the roof. And it comes down, hits the gutter, and you get points by if you throw it up there and hit the stack from the drains, you get points. And if it bounces more than so many times, you have to Google that and watch it.
Can you tackle them, or do you knock them down, or can you jump?
You have to catch the ball coming off the roof, and if you go off of the concrete, you're out of bounds, that kind of crap.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's actually people standing there watching this live.
Oh wow! Yikes!
Okay. And they had ESPN. They're out there with a with a 6-foot table, with a plastic fold-out table out on the driveway with a banner on the table. ESPN. Yeah.
Wow. Never heard of it. I'll have to look that up.
All right, Rob.
Yeah.
Is beer pong a sport?
No.
Okay. What about this one? I saw this one on ESPN3. they had Tag on ESPN3.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like we're gonna run all that stuff, but we're gonna give up Major League Baseball.
Yes, that makes so much more sense. Yeah, we definitely need to do that.
So let me ask you a question, and this is a serious question, so get serious on me, okay?
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I played darts, and somebody asked me if I drank when I played darts, and I played better when there's a certain point that you can drink to where it makes your game better, actually. But
you kind of loosen up.
Yeah, you got to loosen up. Gets all the jitters out and everything. And then we got
he just loosened up right now.
Do you play pool or bowling? Is it better if you have a couple of drinks?
I don't know, because I haven't bowled in many years. I don't even know if I was legal to drink when I was bowling.
Well, it would make me a little nervous.
Back those days though, you could drink when you were 18. Mm-hmm. So we did do that. And here's the thing: is axe throwing a sport? That's on TV.
That's what they're telling me. And I went out on one date one time, and she picked for us to go axe throwing, and there was no second date.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't know that I want to date somebody that's good at it.
Well, she said he threw like a girl, so she said no thanks.
She was so good, she joined a league.
So she beat you. That was your
I'm not saying she beat me. Okay, yeah, she beat me.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say she beat you. Wow.
And it's like they have a national championship for cornhole.
Oh yeah. It was in Knoxville one time. I think they actually move it around.
Yeah. Well, they do. I mean, there's not many places you're going to draw a crowd, so it's got to be somewhere.
Well, beach volleyball, I think, I've been on like Long Beach, California for like years and years and years. And I guess, I don't know if it was the fires or what happened out there. And then they moved it to Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Yeah.
Last year or year before. And I was like, I'm going to go look, and maybe I might go over there for the NCAA championships over there. And the tickets were outrageous. I couldn't believe how much they were charging people.
But it's a sellout.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's where a bunch of creeps go watch.
Whoa.
That's not a curse word.
That's why Jeff was going. Whoops.
I was going to be one of the creeps.
And these young girls that have those cameras set up in their dorm rooms and stuff, and they wonder why they have so many followers.
Okay, that is not a sport.
Right.
I think we're going somewhere we did not.
Right. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Is OnlyFans a sport?
No, let me check my papers. I think we are off the point here.
So Rob, are you going to be filling out a bracket for basketball?
Yeah, I'm going to fill out a bracket.
Yes.
I'll figure out, get it. I got to figure out how to print one first, and then go through it and see what all's there.
We're going to give you.
Hey, let me ask you something. Did Auburn make it? I was planning to do it last night, and they said Auburn was one of the first 4 out or something.
No.
So I didn't know if they got to play in or not. Let me ask you a question, a real good question. If y'all watched everything, do you think FSU deserved to get a play-in game? They won 9 of their last 11 games, and they beat some pretty good teams. And the game that they lost by 1 point in the final second to the number one team, one of the number one teams in the country, the number one seeds anyway.
A legitimate sports question.
So for me, all right, if we go by that, then we're not going to have Duke ranked number 1 because they didn't play very good at the end. Florida lost, so they didn't play very good at the end, so they can't be a number 1. So you see what I mean? Like, yes, the end matters, but to me, it's the totality of your season. And when you lose so many games and when you get blown out at different times, it just kind of throws you off. And that's why, like, when you have these other mid-major teams that their records are just better, whether or not they could beat them or not, you really don't have a case on, even though the SEC has got more teams in there. Because, I mean, if you look at it right now, Ole Miss would give everybody trouble in a game with a one-day game. You know what I mean? Like, but they didn't play very good all year.
Well, and looking at the tournament, and I'll bet you that if more of the Florida team, the number 1 seeds, had gotten beat, they'd have looked at structure in the tournament because if you look at it, those teams now have to play back to back to back every day for 4 or 5 games. If you're in the lower seed and you play in, to where most of them, their legs are give out.
Yeah.
You know, from here on out, they play 2 games a week. They play Friday. They either play Thursday and Saturday, or they play Friday and Sunday. The rest of the way out. You know, so they're not playing back to back games, and so you know. And here's the thing, and here's my thing. Being a true FSU fan, Duke should have never even been able to play. They should have been kicked out of any type of tournament because 2 of their starters got hurt out.
Oh, that sounds like the Florida State football deal, like from 2-3 years ago.
I'm just saying that, you know. But anyway, and I started to text Paul Saturday after the game. I said, or the other night, I said, is Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma taking over the SEC? Because they were all right there at the football, winning everybody. Everybody's scared to death to play them. And now in basketball, wait till baseball season comes around. What happened to LSU Friday night? Woo.
We're done. We lost Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, they're out of the top 25 already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was yesterday. They were up 16. They won 16-9. Wasn't it yesterday?
Yeah.
So.
Well, Rob, we sure do appreciate you, my friend, and thank you for the roof football and a little more clarity on the disc golf. We appreciate you.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Bye. He makes a good point. I get it. That's, you know, when you start looking at it, a lot of people are like, oh, my gosh, Ole Miss, they played so good. Florida State, they played so good. They were right there. If they'd have beat Duke, if they would have beat Arkansas, if they would – but it's the totality in the full college basketball system, the way that it's set up. And you're right, man. You'll catch these teams that are a little bit vulnerable when you're playing back to back to back. And it's like, well, you should be ready. Yeah, that's true, but it's not a normal thing. It's just like when you play during the season, you've got one game on a Tuesday. Well, you may not play again until Saturday or Sunday, so you've got all these times off. Whereas these SEC, ACC, Big Ten, and all the other tournaments, they're scheduled up back to back to back to back. Let me ask you this. Were you pulling for Ole Miss to pull it out right there in the SEC? Because, I mean, they were a 15 seed. I mean, they were at the bottom. And it was just like, man, they were playing some good basketball.
Absolutely. It was so exciting, and it didn't matter that I picked Arkansas to win the whole thing. It didn't matter. I was pulling against what I picked.
Yeah.
And you can't understate this because they were 16th all year long. LSU took last place from them in the last week. And Ole Miss with 4 conference wins, 4 and 14. They get the 15 seed. They beat the 10. They beat the 7. They beat the 2. And we said it on Friday. We got to talk about Ole Miss if Ole Miss beats Alabama. And, I mean,
they did, and they didn't just beat them; they wore them out. They were beating them at their own game. The up and down, they didn't slow the ball down. The guards didn't stop. They shot at will. They would go down 1 on 4, 1 on 3, 1 on 5, and shoot a 3-pointer. And just they played Alabama style of basketball, and they beat them playing Alabama style at the basketball.
Yeah, and then we can't forget they played Arkansas in overtime.
Yes.
This is the team who won it all.
Who won it?
I mean, I don't think if Ole Miss had beaten Arkansas, they would have not beaten Vanderbilt in the championship game.
Probably not. But still, I'm just saying,
and see, that's the thing. You just like you were saying, you can't, could you imagine Major League Baseball when they play, I don't know, whatever, first 4 or 5 months, and they say, okay, all the division winners are in. And they say, okay, for the last month, everybody's just playing for a wild card. I mean, so basically you're getting the teams that are hot at the very end.
Yeah.
And not beat up because of injuries and all that kind of stuff.
That's why basketball is so exciting, because that can actually happen. And you saw it in some of the other tournaments. There's people that are not supposed to be in there that's in there. I mean, nobody knew Miami of Ohio was going to lose. And just like we said, UMass beat Miami of Ohio, but UMass lost their next game. It's always that way. And it's just like when Florida State was playing Duke. I was pulling for Florida State because I knew that was their only shot is to get there and win and try to get in the tournament. And they didn't. And no, they don't deserve to be there. And that's a part of the problem that you have to deal with whenever you don't win all year. And you can't, just like Ole Miss, you can't go 4-14, 4-15. You can't do that and then just expect to make it up in the tournament. They almost did, but I mean, because I would say right now, as far as like in the SEC, Ole Miss, these last 3-4 games that they played, they didn't look like the bottom. They looked like the top.
Oh, yeah.
They look like the top 5, one of the top 5 teams in the SEC playing basketball.
Yeah, and another one that I picked. I only picked 3 conference tournament winners, right?
Yeah,
and I was right on Arkansas.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Dude, I know you're dying to talk about how right you were about something that you said. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. I know. I already said it.
I'm ready to go.
I know you are. I told Bone Crusher before when we were having our meeting before the show that Jeff was gonna, the first 20 minutes, he was gonna somehow, some way get it out that he was right about something. And believe me, we're gonna have plenty of time to talk about that. When we come back, we will have Steve Barnes to talk about this Ole Miss teams. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 17 studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. The ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge.
Hey, it's Paul. Join me, Jeff, and the Sports Blitz this Wednesday from 4 to 6 for a live remote broadcast at Lone Star Boil House. We'll have $25 crawfish trays, $2 Amberbach draft specials, college basketball, and your chance to win a $100 Lone Star Boil House gift card in the Sports Blitz Big Bracket Challenge. Join us Wednesday at Lone Star Boil House on 5th Street, downtown Panama City with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Some sun the remainder of the day with a moderate breeze out of the north-northwest at 18 miles per hour. And look for it to be 54. Tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 42. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a wind around 13 miles per hour and the high of 56. Wednesday will have a high of 61 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning in to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
Lanier in transition hits the three and a sign of life from Knoxville. Wayne driving right. Lob from Brazil and a two-hand slam. 6 on the clock. Now with 5. He drives on Maddox. Right elbow with 3. Spins to the foul line. Jumper up and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Listen live exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Karen bought 83 liters of Dr. Thunder, a suitcase full of Cheez-Its, and a drum of Crisco. Now she's crying about using the self-check at Walmart.
Maybe we should speak to a manager or something.
Just saying. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
We are live and local right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Orlando Magic basketball. Don't forget tonight, the Magic take on the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off is right after the show, 6 o'clock. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Don't forget, if you want to call in and be a part of the show, if you want to text in and be a part of the show, you surely can be at 850-215-6290. We're pumped up and ready to go on this Monday. We got Steve Barnes on the line from the rebelwalk.com. Steve, how you doing today, my friend?
Well, for the record, yes, I played disc golf one time in my life. It was, believe it or not, I was active duty military, and one of our officers decided to be a team building experience to go out. They had a municipal park in Fort Walton Beach where they set up the course. And it was, it was kind of a bonding deal because we all looked around and said, boy, we suck at this. And also, I did cover the AVP Tour, that's the Association of Volleyball Professionals, and the WPVA, the Women's Professional Volleyball Association, that's beach volleyball. And let me tell you, they are athletes. Mm-hmm. There was a guy on tour, Tim Hovland, back then, and he was California's Mr. Football his senior year in high school, beat out a guy named Ronnie Lott for it.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And the women, the most impressive person I've ever seen was her name was Nancy Reno. She was all of about 6'3", had abs that washboards would be jealous to have. She was the first one I ever met was tatted all the way down her arm, and she's got a master's from Stanford, so she's got a brain. And I was helping out on the stage production, and she came up to me and said, here's a CD. When I come out to warm up, number 6, crank it. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And I got it turned up, and over my headset, I hear the director's like, who's playing that music loud? They're going to get fired. And I'm like, well, it's me, and I'm more afraid of Nancy Reno than I am of you, so it's staying on.
Oh, man, that's funny. Yeah, me and Jeff, we're going to have to go out and try it. But let's talk about this NCAA tournament. Obviously, we talked about Ole Miss. They were on fire. They did great. I was just wondering, I knew that their record was really bad. I knew that they were at the bottom. And I was just like, gosh, I wish they treated it like, kind of like football where you could go in and do that, where you could look good at the end, but they just didn't have enough. And Chris Beard has something to build on, but, again, you can't lose all those games early on and expect to just get hot at the end.
Wait, it's still basketball season? Wow. I got to start checking the newspaper more.
Yeah.
But Ole Miss, they messed up early, and I hate to say it, but there is some animosity toward Chris Beard in some circles still from his time at Texas. So I don't know. I doubt the committee really took that into effect, but somebody might have silently done it. I got to sit down with Keith Gill for a week, basically, in Pensacola for the Sun Belt tournament, and he's the most down-to-earth guy I think I've ever met. And when he's like, some people bring stuff up about I don't like that guy, or he did this, or he took a player from me, and they try to do, I guess you call backroom deals. But I think with Gill in charge, that's not going to work. It's Ole Miss. They lost too many league games.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, in the Sun Belt, Georgia Southern did the same thing. They went all the way to the finals and got beat. And they didn't get a bid to the NIT.
Yeah.
So they're just done.
Yeah, they're all the way done. And the thing is like some of these teams, they're starting to get hot at the end of the season, but, man, it just doesn't work out. That's the only difference between basketball. I like the way that, Ole Miss was playing. I like the way that they looked like they were a tournament team. I mean, they were dunking the ball, shooting the ball, playing good defense. And, I mean, they gave Arkansas everything they wanted, and I just couldn't. I was pulling for them. Jeff, you were pulling for them, right?
Absolutely, and it wasn't what Arkansas wanted.
No.
They didn't want none of that.
No, they were definitely short on that.
Well, this is that time of year where if something goes wrong with your team, Duke's a number 1 seed, but they've had a couple key injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how long they can sustain it. We know what happened at Alabama with a kid.
Yep.
Who, they're definitely going to have to suspend him for a couple of games, if not for the tournament. But if they suspend him for, like, say, 3 games, well, that gets you to the Sweet 16 without him. That's going to be rough.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things when we talk about the SEC. This year to me, it's going to be. I mean, it's so hard to tell because everybody kind of played bad at the end of the season. Everybody kind of did not really dominate. Duke struggled with Florida State. Alabama lost. Florida lost. Michigan lost. These teams Arizona was the only one that really pushed through it, and I'm just curious. Now, we always talk about it. We can't, we always have the every week that we talk to you, we always got to bring it up because if we don't, we'll lose our streak. Anything about Trinidad Chambliss that we got on the docket for today? I mean, is he going to still get to play or what?
I don't think he would be dressing out the NCAA tournament for the basketball team.
No. Now, let me ask you this. He did bring some news in because talking about getting to be on the cover of the NCAA, and because of his not knowing whether or not he was going to play, he lost out on being able to be on the cover. Does that, I mean, I guess it matters. I mean, they want to be on the cover. They do like that. The money's coming in from it, too.
Yeah, that's NIL money. That's big-time NIL money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess he's a little bit upset about that. Do you think the NCAA is going to...
He's still making several $100,000 a year. So, yeah, that's another reason he wanted to come back to Ole Miss. He makes more at Ole Miss in his senior year than he would as a rookie in the NFL. Oh,
yeah, for sure. Now, do you have an early on pick for your draft? I mean, for your brackets?
I went kind of weird. I only took one top seed to go to the Final Four. I took Arizona, but then in the other ones I went with UConn, Iowa State, who they just find a way to win. And the one I think it's going to be the one that could do it's Houston.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. For me, it's all about going through and seeing who matches up with who, because in basketball, that's the biggest thing. If you don't match up well, and it's just like when you see these mid-majors that shoot the lights out against teams that don't play perimeter defense, that's where it's going to be like, man, are they going to be able to stop them? And then you look at, teams that are so big and the other teams that their centers like 6'8", 6'10", 6'9", and they're not very big. You wonder at playing a team like Florida or playing a team that's got a lot of the bigs, maybe Michigan or somebody like that. It's just going to be hard to upset those guys.
Well, every year I always take a 12 seed over a 5. And this year I'm taking Akron over Texas Tech. Akron can shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
They don't miss often. When they do, they got some sneaky dudes to get some offensive rebounds. Now, in the women's bracket, I'm taking the 12, too. I'm also taking James Madison to win over Kentucky.
Ooh.
Wow.
James
Madison was just rolling. James Madison was just rolling in the Sun Belt. And they've got 2 players, Peyton McDaniel, who was a tournament MVP, and I was sitting with Keith Gill, the commissioner. I think we're in the quarterfinals, and I pointed to her, and he said, best player in this conference in the last 10 years. Because she's 6 feet tall. She's legitimate, because I was standing next to her. But she can get out on the perimeter and move past short guards. She can just get by him. She's got the moves. But then again, she can get inside on a player 6'3", and get position and get the rebound. She's just an all-around good player.
Yeah, you gave away one of my upsets, that Akron one, because they went 17-1, only played Miami of Ohio once in the regular season, and I said they were going to win their conference tournament, and they did, but they didn't even get to play Miami of Ohio to try and resurrect that whole, I don't want to say rivalry, but the whole upset, that they were legit, and Akron, the Zips, I don't want to say they're for real, but they definitely can pull an upset and beat Texas Tech.
And also, all year they've heard Miami of Ohio. Nobody even looked at them. Now they're thinking, wait a second. Mm-hmm. What happens if we go deeper in the tournament? People are going to have to look at us.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. I fed this question to the people who were hosting last year, and I fed it to a few other stations. All right, Troy, they're in the tournament. Now they have to go play Nebraska and Oklahoma City. And Troy, they don't have the depth, I think. If they get in foul trouble, that's going to be about it. So I think Nebraska's going to beat them. Now, South Alabama is in the NIT. They play at Auburn. If they beat Auburn and go on a roll, which would you rather be, one and done in the NCAAs or go deep in the tournament in the NIT?
NIT.
No way. No, not me. I'd rather go to the tournament. I think they base everything off of the tournament. They don't really base everything off of the NIT. It's good for building your program if you want to say, hey, let's build some momentum going into next year. But making it to the tournament, you're going to get more publicity. You're going to let these kids experience all that they can with this tournament. They're going to get all the bells and whistles. They're going to get all the looks. It's going to be on TV and all of the people, they talk about it. So I would say, I'm going to disagree with both of you. I'm going to go definitely the tournament because you now know what it feels like because everybody that's on that team may not come back next year, but there will be some people back again playing for that team.
This is why Paul knows who Dale Brown is because all the early exits.
That's right.
Well, the thing is, like, Troy's going to get that publicity in the first round. But if they get by 40, do you really want that? You're still going to get the banner in your home arena, but the women are going to get it. The women are going to get the NIT banner. The last 2 years in the NIT, and they aren't in it this year. The NIT's changed. Now it's the WBIT, Women's Basketball Invitation Tournament. The last 2 years, though, they've been to the final round. So they have had, I think it was 14 more practices than the men did. If you're building a team for next year, too, I want those extra practices. It's like a bowl game. You want the extra practices.
Yeah, it's good for you. I believe that. But you did say something that kind of perked my ears just a little bit. You said 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
To make the WBIT. So with that being said, I guess making it the first year didn't catapult them to the tournament. So that might be why I say let's go to the tournament.
Only got one. The Sun Belt's only got one in there.
Yeah, I know.
On men's side and women's side.
Yeah, they
used to get one. In fact, I tell you what, in the WBIT, one of these is going to be an upset. Troy's either going to beat Kansas or Georgia Southern's going to go to Miami and try to avenge what they did in Pensacola. Last time they played in Florida, they looked like, you know what? They might want to go down to Miami and say, wait, we can play. We can do this. I think Georgia Southern could beat Miami.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, Steve, we're going to go ahead and go, my friend. We appreciate you so much. And, I hope that when you do get a chance to come over and be in studio with us one day, that you'll wear a big, nice, beautiful blue shirt like Jeffrey's got on today.
I hate the powder blue. I always have.
Oh, man. Come on.
Well, when I was in school there, they came out with the powder blue helmets. Because this first year we didn't have Colonel Rebel on the side. And they came out with the powder blue. We're playing at Memphis State. And they came out of the locker room, and I thought, Memphis changed their helmets. And like, no, it's us. But what they would do is they'd wear the powder blue helmets with the navy blue jerseys. And I thought that just looked bad.
Yeah, I like the way they look. I like the blue now. I like the blue with the gray, with the red and the white. I like it.
It works in baseball.
I like the baby blue helmets with the baby blue jerseys and the white pants.
Yeah, that does look good. I like it.
Now, the shimmering stuff that Memphis does now, the Tigers, that shimmery, like, I don't even know what to call it. It's just like, it's like a silver shiny and everything. I hate that.
Chrome.
Yeah, the chrome. I hate it.
But either way,
everybody's got that now.
Yeah, you're right.
But I tell you what, speaking of that, don't forget, spring practice starts for most of the SEC this week, in football.
Oh, yeah. We are ready to go on that. I know Jeffrey's loving the March Madness, but we're going to dive into that some too. But we appreciate you, Steve. Thanks for calling in, and we appreciate it, man.
All right. Take care.
Yes, sir. He's right, though. When you go into these tournaments, you have the opportunity to get more practices. Now, it just depends on what your players, you've got senior leadership, but you also are trying, again, we're in this NIL deal now where you've got to try to hold on to your players. And if you can have these extra practices, this is a way that you do it. Let me ask you this question, though. is any postseason good for your team?
What do you mean?
Like any postseason, whether it's the NIT or whether it is the actual tournament. If you can go play more games and be able to help your team build continuity and to get you spending more time with your team, because that's the biggest deal. Because once you're done with your season, your players, if they're doing online college courses and they don't see you. They don't come in and see you. So you need to see them more and more so that you can love on them and make sure they're not transferring, because this is the world we live in right now. Yeah. Remember what Kirby said. You not only have to go out and recruit, but you have to keep recruiting the ones that are still here to make sure they're still on board.
Well, you better, if you have a morale problem, you better save the morale.
It's not.
And then some of these kids are burnt out, so you have to take it a little easy on them. And, the college football bowl games, I believe in them. I just don't think there should be so many. You shouldn't have these 6-6 teams in there, and definitely no 5-7s.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, yes, you want to go if you got an opportunity to go, unless your team is very senior-led. And then that's going to be the deal with them, because they're knowing exactly why I don't agree with y'all about the NIT, because a lot of these guys are saying no. They don't want to go because they want to get their body ready so that they can do their combine, so they can get ready for the draft, so they can do the little private workouts. The NIT gives you another opportunity to showcase your talent.
Yeah.
There's all positives. You can showcase your talent. You can build for next year. You can keep them in-house, so to speak. You can be on the road with them where you can love on them. Mm-hmm. But then there's a flip side to that. Some of these guys are ready to leave, and they're ready to get out of there. They might jump out and be like, I'm not going to no NIT because it doesn't matter. And that's the whole thing. If you don't get in, that's why they didn't go to the bowl games that were not involved in the college football playoff, is because the NIT doesn't matter,
So was there two? Is Notre Dame and one other team, right, that sat out of the bowl season, I think?
Yeah, there was a couple. Yeah.
And in Florida State in basketball now is sitting out the NIT.
Yeah, they're sitting out. Yeah. And the reason is because their coach said that the seniors said that they wanted to be done. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to go play in that. Yeah. And as a coach, you have to know whether or not the temperature of your team is something that is that worth fighting for? Do you want to go single? Do you want to go play in these games and be shorthanded because these seniors don't want to go because they're getting ready to go overseas, or they're getting ready to go try out for some kind of pro league or something like that?
And if you're not listening or feeling your players that are seniors, what's that say to your sophomores and your juniors? Because they'll be like, well, this guy didn't really care about me.
Yeah. And I mean, but don't you agree that the way this whole NIL and the transfer portal, it's not only just changed college football, it's changed every bit of it. Now they have the opportunity to go to an NIT and they say, no, thank you, because my seniors don't want to go. But I'm thinking about those sophomores, those freshmen, those juniors that are like, okay, but if you don't go play, what are they going to do next year? Are they leaving your team next year? Are they the ones that are going to be back? Or are you just going away from those guys and they're going to be bench players anyway, and you're looking at these mid-major teams to try to pull them in to get JUCO guys to come in that are going to be juniors, or to get guys that are going to be seniors that, that played really good for UMass or played good for, these schools that you don't really see making the tournament.
So here's what's worrisome in my mind. Like, okay, so Florida State's sitting at home and they're watching the tournament. And we're talking about the sophomores and the juniors and everything. And they're looking over, I can go over to NC State, and they're a basketball school. They're about even keel with, Florida State as far as talent goes in basketball. But they need one or two more people. Maybe I'll just go ahead and transfer over there.
Yeah.
And then you might lose somebody who's an underclassman. That's not good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, I've got a friend of mine that's a women's basketball assistant coach at Texas A&M, and they didn't make the tournament. They're hosting a game. And it's in-house. It's going to be, they're trying to get, people to come and be a part and push it and make it as much as you can. But I know that they're trying to build off of that so that they can make the tournament next year, so that they can build their team. So there's two sides to the spectrum here. Yeah. And but either way, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more of this NCAA tournament via the ACC, the SEC, and the Big Ten. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The legendary Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, home for the most popular drink specials in town and now on the beach. Enjoy 2-for-1 house margaritas and draft beer all day, every day. 10% off on Military Mondays, and Tuesdays kids eat free with an adult. Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, now with 2 locations. Back Beach next to Home Depot and Highway 77.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfurt Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
Lanier in transition, hits the three, and a sign of life from Knoxville. Playing, driving right. Lob from Brazil and a two-hand slam. 6 on the clock. Now with 5. He drives on Maddox. Right elbow is raised. Spins to the foul line. Jumper up and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Listen live exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Now, the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. We are live and local right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Orlando Magic basketball. Tonight, the Magic play the Hawks at 6 o'clock right after the show. And don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. We're going to read a text off the Red 7T's phone line. And, Jeffrey, I think it's somebody that agrees with me. They say, here's something to think about. Even if you are the NIT champions, you're still only the 69th best squad in the NCAA. So, yeah, I agree with you. You're exactly right. So you and Steve Barnes can be NITers all you want, but unless you make the tournament, baby, that's all that matters. You can't tell me a team that they can look at themselves in the mirror and get excited about hanging an NIT championship banner in their gym. I'm sorry. Second place, 69th place. You're the 69th, 68th. I don't even care. You can say you're the 60th best team in the country. There's no way you can feel good about that?
Absolutely you can. And I'll drop a name. Jim Tressel was at, Youngstown State?
Yeah, playing football now. This is football.
Yeah, that's football. Appalachian State, Valdosta State, North Dakota State. These are all schools that have won in the 1AA level, which is now called FCS, right?
FCS, yep.
And they are not the 134th best team or whatever it is, because you have 133 teams in the top level now.
They're in different brackets.
They're in a different bracket, but they are not that bad.
But all of these teams are in the NIT. They're all on the same level. So, yes, they are. Yeah. The tournament people that pick and the selection committee says that they're not in the top 68. So sorry.
So whoever that is, they don't believe in big fish, little pond. Am I right? That's the concept.
No, they don't believe.
Big fish, little pond.
No.
That's what the NIT is.
The NIT is the leftovers from the teams that aren't good enough.
Well, we're not going to use the word good enough. They just didn't get the invite.
Well, they didn't play good enough.
In the regular season. Yes.
In any season. They didn't win their tournament or they would have got in. So this is the deal. Either you play good during the season, good enough to make it to the tournament, or you win your tournament. They give you 2 chances to get in, and if you don't, you're not good enough.
No, because some of these teams won their conference in the regular season and then lost in their tournament, and then they got left out.
Because they play in a sorry conference.
No, because somebody knocked them off.
Because they're not as good as these other teams.
So you're saying that Miami of Ohio did or didn't belong in?
Miami of Ohio, this is from Kyle Albritton. I'm going to tell you what he said on our Facebook page. By the way, if you want to comment on the Facebook page, we'll read those online as long as they make me look good and Jeff look bad. Miami of Ohio is the Bishop Sycamore of college basketball, a.k.a. complete frauds. Complete frauds. Don't pick. I'll tell you this. If you don't think Miami of Ohio is a fraud, why don't you pick them to the Sweet 16, big boy? Go ahead and do it.
Because who they're playing, who's in front of them? Who are they playing? It's not Texas playing NC State. Who's Miami of Ohio playing?
I'll have to find it. But
it's on the right side.
Okay,
I can look at it.
But let me ask you this: if Miami of Ohio
SMU
is playing Ole Miss tomorrow, who wins that game?
Ole Miss.
Okay, and Ole Miss did not even get in the tournament.
Yeah. So we got SMU. They joined the ACC. Last year? I think it was.
Yeah.
And
no, 2 years ago, right?
Well, no, this is their second year in basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. This is their second year in basketball in the ACC. They played a regular season schedule. They got slipped in on the last 4 pretty much, right?
They got in. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're a great team. I'm just saying that they could possibly beat Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, and Miami of Ohio deserves to be in there. I'm just going to say that. We're going to go to the Red 7T's phone line. We got Mike on the line. Mike, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great, fellas, and I'm not just kissing up to the host, but Paul, you're correct about some of the things you're saying. SMU will probably be beaten by Miami of Ohio, by the way, because it's in Dayton, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's a short trip. And then they'll play an SEC team and get beat. But also, you can't compare apples to oranges. Football is not basketball. Basketball is not football. And also, these players are obviously adults. And I was going to relate a story from my coaching days where I was met at the dog leg on hole number 18 of our home course. And my girls, all 6 of them, said, "Coach, we don't want to play against Murray State this weekend." And I had already scheduled. I'm like, okay, why? They said, "Coach, it's not going to be above 35 degrees. And I said, you know what? I don't want to play them either. So I called up Murray State's coach and canceled our appearance.
Nice.
You just never know. It's all individual, brothers. And by the way, Dale Brown, I think, made it to 2 Final Fours. I know he made it to 1. I don't remember Ole Miss ever being there. Y'all have a great day from 19 degrees in Tennessee. Bye.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much. He's got a good point. It's true. Yeah, apples to oranges on some of the football, but I still think the same mantras relate. And that is that you're trying to build a team that's continuity, and then you're trying to build off of what you did last year to push you to get better. Mm-hmm. You know, and that was my whole point about the NIT and the NCAA. Yeah, if you feel like this team is young, you feel like this team is going to stay together, you feel like this is a sophomore or even a freshman-led style team, and you've got a chance for those guys to stick with you and stay there, yes, go to the NIT. But if you've got a bunch of seniors, if you've got a bunch of juniors and you don't know where they stand, they don't want to go, they don't want to play, you might as well go ahead and chalk that one up and be done. So, no, I don't think for FSU, I think the coach come out and said the seniors did not want us to go, did not want us to play. And if that's what they want to do, it's all good. That's fine. I do think that it's different playing football than it is playing basketball, because you are going to an NIT tournament where you're not going to be playing against somebody that's actually I don't want to say any good because that's just not right. Because, I mean, there's some of these teams just got hot at the wrong time and lost some of the games they should have won, and that's just part of it. But when you look at how it's all set up, a disappointing season is when you go to the NIT. It is. Yeah. It is. I mean,
well, that's how some people feel about the college football playoffs also.
Right. If you don't make the playoffs, you just might as well go and, I mean, and I don't love it. We don't love it. We've not been conditioned to love that because it is different, because bowl season is different, because, you might play an SEC school, but over here you might not. But I'm just saying, if Troy loses to Nebraska by 20, or if they lose by 10 and South Alabama beats Auburn, I guarantee you people aren't going to be like, oh, South Alabama beat Auburn. Oh, Troy lost to Nebraska. They're going to be like, oh, Troy went to the tournament. South Alabama didn't. Yeah. I think if Troy gives me an opportunity to play, I'm going there because I can go to the tournament. South Alabama, they play their postseason in the NIT. Yeah. Have I switched you over to my side yet, or are you still over there? Because you say, but I think
it just depends upon how your players are. I would be worried about my players, the sophomores and the juniors, sitting at home after the decline of NIT appearance, and then looking and saying, oh, I would want to transfer to that school because look at that team, and I want to be a part of that. And that's detrimental to basketball, worse than any other sport, because you only have 5 people on the court at a time.
Yeah, and there's more people that are wanting your position that could come in and take it immediately because you've got junior colleges, you've got the NIL, and you got the transfer portal. Yeah. That some of these, this is what's going to be crazy. Just so you know, I don't know how many, but there will be players that are going to be playing in the tournament this year that they're going to transfer to non-NCAA tournament bracket teams that did not make it, but they're going to transfer from those teams that made it to some of these teams that didn't, like your Ole Misses, like your Florida States, like your bigger schools, and they're probably going to push them into making the tournament. So some of this could be you getting film for yourself. You'd be like, hey, coach, all these seniors don't want to play. That's fine. I want to play. I want to go out there and get some film so that I can show that I can play, because if you're bringing people in, I might be getting shipped out, and I might need to find me a place to play. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's just such a moving market now.
Well, look at the opposite with that Miami of Ohio player who transferred to Georgia Tech, and what's he doing? Sitting at home watching his former teammates.
Yeah, and that's how it works. And I mean, he could have been, I'm not sure, but he could have been one of the guys that were in the main rotation of playing or starting.
Oh, absolutely. Being one of the people. He was a star in Miami of Ohio.
That's what I'm saying. So if he left, he could have, pushed him. But I agree that, sometimes when you got to make those decisions, but you also got to make financial decisions. I can tell you right now that Miami of Ohio probably is not paying their players as much as they are at Georgia Tech, even though Georgia Tech isn't a big basketball school as of right now, but they're probably paying more. That kid's probably making a lot more money, and he's sitting at home.
They have the resources because, Georgia Tech is in that share with the ACC.
Yeah, they're still getting the money.
Tens of millions of dollars, where the MAC is not spreading out their money,
And they're thinking Miami right now. So thank you, Miami, for all the money that you made making the college football playoff. We appreciate it.
Yeah, but ACC's deal is not as much of a share because of Florida State and Clemson whining because we're the ones that win every year, so we don't want to share. We want to keep more of our own money, Yeah. And so Miami gets to keep more of it, thanks to Florida State and Clemson.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes, but I'm going to say this. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Florida Gators. And we're going to talk about their loss that they had this past weekend. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
How did you like the Savannah Bananas? From what I've seen, it's a lot of men twerking with their clothes off, shaking their butts in those tight,
They keep their clothes on.
They got their shirts off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they take their shirts off. It looks like, to me, a baseball Magic Mike performance. I'm sorry.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Some sun the remainder of the day with a moderate breeze out of the north-northwest at 18 miles per hour. And look for it to be 54. Tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 42. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a wind around 13 miles per hour and the high of 56. Wednesday will have a high of 61 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning in to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
WGSX Lynn WVOQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida. ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
Off target, right hand follow. Alba, perfectly timed right block.
Listen to the men.
And the Tide are up 17.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The sun sets on the Emerald Coast. The freaks come out and play.
Hi, I'm a recovering crackhead.
Hand me that shotgun. Get on your knees!
The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the top. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even try, you can't stop. Gon' crush it, gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live and local, and it is 5 o'clock right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Thank you, Lil Cash, for the intro. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. And don't forget, tonight, right after the show, the Magic play the Hawks at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are looking at the brackets. We are talking about the teams. We want you to know that we're doing our best to give you the upper hand so that you can be a part of our bracket challenge. We're going to be going live on Wednesday at the Lone Star Boyle House from 4 to 6. We're doing the show right there. You can come and be a part of that. Also, you can also stay and eat and drink all of the specials. It's all online. line. There's so much going on. Jeffrey knows all about the drink specials. I don't even know how to pronounce them, let alone drink them. But I'm excited about doing some of the crawfish. They don't just have crawfish. You say their barbecue's as good as anybody around.
Oh, yeah.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
The guy's from Texas. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And
Tastes
then,
great.
and then crawfish, seafood, appetizers, shrimp, boiled, everything. It's going to be a fantastic time. Come out, fill out your bracket, win the prize pack by picking the correct teams. Now, Jeffrey, we got to give you your due. You said on Friday, you're so happy.
I am.
Listen, did you hear the
happy.
laugh?
It's an evil laugh.
The smugness laugh. He was so happy. I mean, I'm sure he didn't send me an email or didn't send me a text message saying, I was right. Look at what I did. Not only did he do that, he sent me the video on the text message showing where he was right, just so that we wouldn't mess it up. He said that Florida would lose to Vanderbilt, and then Vanderbilt would lose to Arkansas. Now, I said that I thought that Florida should lose, and I was hoping that they would so that they could get the whole running of they didn't lose in February, they didn't lose in March, and all this stuff. Now they don't have to worry about keeping a win streak alive. Now they can just start a new one. But I did say usually what happens is when someone upsets the team that's supposed to win, that following game they always, and you saw it. What happened with Ole Miss? They beat Alabama, lost to Arkansas, albeit by overtime, but it still was a loss. Then you had Vanderbilt upset Florida, boom. They lose to Arkansas. So there you go. But we're so happy. We're so proud of you. You did a great job.
You picked Bama and Florida in the final.
Yeah, with about everybody else in the world, and even the playoff, the March Madness Commission, they even picked Florida and Alabama better than they did Arkansas
so
and Vandy.
You picked the favorites, the 1-2.
I did. I picked
the
favorites.
The 3-4, and you always complain that I pick the favorites, but guess what? These weren't the favorites.
They wasn't this time, and this is the first time you've done that. So
whatever. That is bull.
I'll tell you this, guys. If you watch Jeff, if you follow Jeff's way of doing his bracket, he is going to put who's ever 1, 2, 3. If he's just going to go that way, just watch what I'm telling you. He's going to have a number 1 seed winning it all. I guarantee it.
I will have a number 1 seed winning it all, but I guarantee you in the Final Four, there will be a 2 seed in there.
What do you think about Florida? You watched them. You watched what they. You know. Give us your opinion about what you thought. You said that they were going to lose. Obviously, I was thinking that they were too. They did. How do you think that affects them?
Okay. So Florida played Houston in the final championship last year, right?
Yeah.
And they're legit. And guess who got stuck in the same region with them in the Southeast?
Yeah, Houston. I know that. But let's talk about Florida. I said let's talk about Florida, and all you've done is talk about Houston. I didn't say let's talk about Houston. I said let's talk about Florida.
It's a showdown in the third round.
So you think they're going to make it? Both of those teams are going to make it to the third round?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you can't give too much because people are going to think you are. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
you talking about Houston? I'm talking about Florida.
Well, I'm talking about Houston beating Florida in third round in the Elite Eight.
Wow. You're really going to make a lot of fans happy.
Wait a minute. That's a fourth round. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
That's a fourth round.
Yeah, it's not going to be that close. It's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's got to be in the fourth round. They got to make it to the almost Final Four, the Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And I might as well give my thing away on that. I usually do this. I always give a little, snippets of what I think's going to happen. And to be honest with you, we were talking about it last night a little bit in text. We saw the West region. We were like, it's kind of weak. And we thought that Florida's region was kind of weak. But when I sat back and looked at the East with Duke and UConn, I was kind of like, you know what? I think the East is weaker than Florida's South region.
See, I don't think so at all. When you look at what Florida has to do, obviously they're going to have to do a play-in game between Prairie View and Lehigh. Now that's going to be whatever. You're not worried about that. But do you have any concerns about the way Clemson can play athletically? Because they are athletic. Clemson is athletic. Now, they've lost to different teams in the ACC, but they really are an athletic team. So if they win their first game, obviously, then they've got to beat Iowa. So you don't see Vanderbilt coming back and being able to beat Florida the second time on an upset?
I think it's going to be a very entertaining game, but it's going to be hard for Vandy to pull that off twice.
Because they've got McNeese. Obviously, they're probably going to make it through that game. And then they got Nebraska and Troy, which all things point towards Nebraska and Troy, or Nebraska beating Troy for sure. When you look at Nebraska, are they...
We were talking about them early in the season because it started 14 or 16-0.
Yeah, they were undefeated
and
early.
They were doing great. They had a couple injuries and then went and lost to Michigan, and it wasn't a blowout. And then, I don't know, they kind of went under the radar at that point, you know?
Yeah, I guess. For me, I think Florida, again, it's going to be exactly what we talked about. Florida can play with anybody in the paint. Florida's got great defense inside the paint, and they're going to out-rebound you. They're going to out-physical you. They're usually going to score more points in the paint than you. It's all going to come down to the play out in the perimeter. I mean, that's just what it's going to be. Xavier Lee, Boogie, those guys have got to knock down their shots, and they've got to make it to where everybody don't stay compacted inside the paint, and they're going to be able to play defense out on the perimeter. And that's why I can tell by the way you're looking, you're not a really big buyer on this Florida team.
I mean, they were not only were you trying to sell it a little bit to me, but then the Mosley coach called in, Coach Green.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was saying about, I basically was that I was wrong.
Yeah.
And if this guy does this, and Xavier and Lee, if these guys do what they normally do, well, guess what? They didn't do it against Vandy.
They didn't.
And they lost by 17, and they were down by 24.
Well, the thing is that they couldn't never get stops. It was like their perimeter people were making shots. They were getting second shots. They didn't limit them to one shot. They didn't get turnovers much. And, I mean...
Well, Vanderbilt was running and gunning and just hitting their shots. And
they were. And Vanderbilt, had they played like they played against Florida, they probably would have won the whole thing. Because I'm just being honest with you. Yeah. They really didn't look like the same team when they played Arkansas.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean...
Well, you're saying it's matchups, and sometimes it's a different day.
That it's a different day, but it's also matchups. And when you look at, to me, I still think Florida's got the upper hand. I mean, you got, like I said, Clemson, Iowa, Vanderbilt, McNeese, Nebraska, and Troy just to get to that Elite Eight. And then you're looking at the bottom half, North Carolina, VCU, Illinois, Penn, St. Mary's, A&M, and then you've got Houston and Idaho. Do you think that St. Mary's, if they don't get past Texas A&M, do you think Texas A&M has something for Houston? Because you're all about Houston. See, I'm not. I'm not so hooked on Houston. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't always go by what you last see.
Yeah, but 2 years ago they disappointed me and wrecked my bracket, and then last year they showed up.
They did,
and so they actually wrecked my bracket 2 years in a row because 2 years ago I picked them and they didn't do it. And then last year I left them out of the Final Four and then they went to the championship.
So Kelvin Sampson, obviously been coaching for a long time. Do you think it might be time for him to get one? I mean, it's been it's been a lot.
I don't know about getting one, but getting to the Final Four is a major accomplishment.
It would be.
And back-to-back.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen very often.
I don't know. For me, it's what these other teams do that makes it to where I don't love Houston. When you said that, I knew you were going there, and I do think that this South part of the bracket is the worst part of the bracket.
Oh yeah.
As far as teams go,
Houston will be untested getting to the Elite Eight. But when they get to the Elite Eight,
you can't discount Illinois. Illinois has played good basketball all year, and I mean A&M. They're not great, but they're decent.
Yeah,
they're athletic.
Yeah, we weren't talking about him in the SEC tournament though.
No, that's true. So out of that group, if you take out Florida and Houston, if you look at that bracket,
Vanderbilt.
Who do you think are the other two teams? Vanderbilt that can mess a bracket up.
Oh. I mean, so Vanderbilt's a 4 and Nebraska's a 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. The sad part is they have to meet each other. in the second round.
They do.
If they were separated a little bit, maybe they could be reckoned through on different sides of the bracket. But the problem is they're meeting each other in the second round. And Florida can just sit over there and say, oh, well, one of you guys can knock off of the other one.
But Illinois has a better record than all of them. But you're so bought into Houston, there is no upset. You think 1 and 2 is going to be for that bracket, that side of the bracket, no matter what. That's what you're saying, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know if I'm a pick. Well, the Vandy thing is just sitting in my head. I'm like, I saw Vandy play Kentucky midway through the season, and I liked what I saw.
Yeah.
They just trounced them. It was ugly.
Now,
and I had to watch it with a Kentucky fan.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's even more substantial.
So the whole deal that you were talking about earlier is that, you know, the West and the Midwest has the 2 buy-in games, and then you've got the Midwest and the South. They've got 2 buy-in games. The Midwest and the South have UMBC and Howard, and then the South has Prairie View and Lehigh. We already said that. All 4 of those teams are 16 seed teams.
Yes.
But on the West, you've got Texas and North Carolina State, and then the Midwest, you've got Miami of Ohio and SMU. But those are all 4 11 seeds, and those are also buy-in games.
I don't understand why they do that. I mean, if you're going to have a buy-in game or the first 4 is what you can call it, those people should be fighting for like a 14, 15, or 16, not an 11. That just doesn't make any sense.
Well, for me, I don't get how they make that up, but it is disappointing for someone like Miami of Ohio to go undefeated all year, lose 1 game, and you're in a play-in game instead of being already there so you can actually see where you're going and you're having to play that extra game because that's an extra game.
Yeah.
And that's not, do you think that's fair for those teams or do you be an 11 seed? Because Texas and North Carolina State are both, they both made it as well.
Well, like the caller said, they're playing in Dayton, or it was the texter said they're playing in Dayton. It's like a 25-minute drive from Miami. You're right there. You have to cross like 1 interstate to get to Dayton. You're right there. But also, you got to think about this. They were the 1 seed. They lost an 8. So guess how many games they played in their conference tournament? 1. And that was it. So they didn't get to play against a 4 or 5 or a 2 or 3 in their conference tournament. So they've already opted out of 2 games playing this week that they're just going to play 1 extra. That's not that big of a deal for them.
But like when you look at, Texas and North Carolina State, they're buying in to play an 8 seed.
No.
Yeah, they are. They're buying in to play a 6 seed. I'm sorry, BYU.
Yeah.
But on that same side of the bracket, Arizona's playing LIU as a 16.
Yeah.
It would make more sense to me that the 16 and the 15 would play in to play against Arizona.
Yeah.
So not only does Texas and North Carolina State have to play each other,
but
which
then
are
they have to turn around and play a
decent
6.
teams, then they got to turn around and play a 6, and that puts them right there with BYU. And if they win, they got to play the winner of Gonzaga and Kennesaw State. Now, you're telling me that Texas nor North Carolina State couldn't beat Kennesaw State, couldn't beat High Point, couldn't beat LIU. You know what I mean? I don't understand how they get these buy-in games or play-in games. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
And these are big teams. Texas and NC State are nothing to laugh at.
No, they're not. That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying it's not fair for them. And the same thing goes for Miami of Ohio and SMU. I think SMU is one of those teams, too, that could make a little bit of a run. But there again, when you look at who they've got to play Tennessee.
Do you believe that a Gonzaga could do anything? Because we know the history, but I don't believe them in this year. It's a different team.
With Gonzaga, you always no, because they got to play BYU, and then the winner of Miami and Missouri, and then you got a number 2 of Purdue playing Queens, so they're going to be there, right? I mean, I never even. Is it Queens University?
It's
is that
Queens University?
Yeah. Give us some useless knowledge that we don't already know about Queens University. I would guess that it's in New York.
No, it's wrong.
Okay, well, I'm wrong.
They're in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow. So the Queen City, Queens University.
There you go.
Wow. So that's a bingo card I did not think we'd talk about.
It's like
today.
Oakland the other year. Remember when Oakland made it? Do you even remember where they were?
No, I don't.
right outside Detroit.
Okay.
So everybody's thinking, oh, they're on the West Coast. No, they're in Michigan.
Speaking of, out of all the conference tournaments, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big Ten, who are you surprised that did not win it all?
Ooh. In the conference tournaments?
Yeah, just the conference tournaments.
Who is a surprise that missed? I think
you always said Florida was going to be there. Wasn't going to be there.
Was not going to be there. I think there wasn't anybody who surprised me that wasn't there. All the teams that were there, I pretty much knew they were going to be there. I think the only one that kind of elevated in my mind maybe a little bit was Purdue. And was not on my radar. I did not think Purdue would win.
You thought Michigan was going to win it.
I thought Michigan was going to not just win it, but I didn't think it was going to be Purdue in the championship with them.
Well, Michigan had been, they had been the top dog for a while in the Big Ten all year. And the Big Ten this year is really good with teams like Illinois and
Purdue and
Nebraska.
Wisconsin
was good too. And Ohio State's in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
They usually are not very good.
They're an 8 seed in this thing. UCLA is actually not too shabby either.
I thought Michigan was a lock for winning the Big Ten. Like, if you were to ask me who was going to be locks, I would win Arizona, Michigan,
and Duke.
And
then you had Florida going to the final.
And I figured Duke was going to get to or Florida was going to go to the final. But, it's going to be interesting to see how it all kind of shapes out. But I don't know if this year, if the ones are going to be the ones that are going to go all the way, or if it's going to be the twos. Because as far as are we going to have 2 twos? Are we going to have ones? You know, this year seems to be that there could be any of them, which is pretty exciting because I'm a little curious to see what you think about that when we come back from the break.
A quick question. 2 twos, Houston or UConn?
Neither. If I had to pick one, Houston. Yeah. I'm just not a big believer in UConn. But either way, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about it. We got to discuss what's going on in Tuscaloosa. Nate Oates, you got to get something going here. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now in the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. The ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge.
Hey, it's Paul. Join me, Jeff, and the Sports Blitz this Wednesday from 4 to 6 for a live remote broadcast at Lone Star Boil House. We'll have $25 crawfish trays, $2 Amberbach draft specials, college basketball, and your chance to win a $100 Lone Star Boil House gift card in the Sports Blitz Big Bracket Challenge. Join us Wednesday at Lone Star Boil House on 5th Street, downtown Panama City with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. Tonight there will be a blustery wind out of the north, partly cloudy skies at 42. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 50. In the afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a moderate breeze right around 13 miles per hour with a high of 56. About the same at 61 Wednesday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Got a scratch, dent, or full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
Lanier in transition hits the three and a sign of life from Knoxville. Land driving right. Lob from Brazil and a two-hand slam. 6 on the clock. Now with 5. He drives on Maddox. Right elbow and 3. Spins to the foul line. Jumper up and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Listen live exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Pound the like and crush the subscribe. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is live on YouTube. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Orlando Magic basketball tonight right after the show. You don't want to miss it. Magic versus the Hawks. 6 p.m. tip-off right here following when we are done. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Red 7T's, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. We are pumped up and excited because normally on a Monday we have Coach Brian Haddad in the building, but he's not here because of traveling issues. So we have Brian on the phone now. Brian, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. You know that story every year about the fraternity that walks like, however many 100 miles to come down during spring break?
Ooh, yeah.
I'm starting to think those guys have it figured out because I think I could have walked from Dallas home faster than I'm going to get here. But, yesterday, if anybody flew, they know what I'm saying. It was an absolute disaster. I ended up getting canceled, and they couldn't get me to PCD until either Tuesday or Wednesday, so I hopped a quick flight to Mobile, and God knows where my bags are. I think they're taking off now. Hopefully I'll pick them up and be able to drive in tonight. But, it's quite the mess, but it is nice to come back and see family at least when you're not home.
So being an airport insider, I'll tell you right now that my buddy was there from 5:30 to 8:30, and finally they canceled his flight out of PCB this morning. I had to go pick him up. And then what else? We had a private plane flying out of PCB down to Orlando, and Orlando Airport, MCO, had a ground stop, nobody in or out for hours. And at first they told them it would be 9 hours till somebody could land that was trying to schedule to fly into Orlando.
Wow.
And people who have, itineraries and reservations or whatever, I mean, you're kind of messed over. And it makes me wonder because the Orlando Magic playing in Atlanta tonight, they have to travel down to Orlando for tomorrow for Tuesday's game.
Yeah.
So, they're on a private charter, but they might have to fly into like Sanford or something like that and then take a bus over.
And let me say this real quick, because I know it's easy. We want to yell at everybody because flying is frustrating and it's stuck away from home. Yeah. And look, there's some people who are really useless. But there were a couple of people who were on like 15 straight hours of work. Like I had a guy on our flight to Mobile. He was running that entire gate by himself. Still, he didn't work himself on his phone, and he still was doing it. So when you see people like that, make sure and thank him. Because that dude, he deserves a raise. I'm going to try and make sure American Metal gives it.
Yeah. Well, Brian, we're going to I'm going to have Bone Crusher hang up, and I'm going to have him call you right back. We got a little bit of a disconnect here. We'll get right back with you. And you're exactly right when you talk about the way the airports are right now. It's terrible, and you know how everybody's getting ready to start flying to the bracket locations. Ooh. It's going to be an issue. Hopefully they get it fixed up. Hopefully they can get something done because, man, it's a big deal.
So everybody's looking at the TSA and how the lines are backing up. But you know what's the other thing? Air traffic controllers.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
People don't think about that.
And the whole thing is that it's held up with this whole half of the government shut down with DHS and all of that. So I just it's very distraction. It's a lot of bad deals going on. I want to talk about, before we get it with Brian, he's going to be on the phone here in just a second, but Recommended Collision Center. Brandon and those guys, they know exactly what they're doing with the vehicles. So if you've got any kind of problems, maybe this rainstorm or maybe the way the wind's blowing, maybe it caused you to do something. Maybe you messed up your wheel or you messed up your fender or your bumper or whatever. When you go see those guys on Jinx Avenue, they're right there where 15th and Jinx come in together. They are great at what they do. Brandon's also going to be with us on Wednesday night at the Lone Star Boil House. If you have any questions about your vehicle, you can ask Brandon right there. While he's eating some crawfish or some boiled shrimp, he can answer all of your car questions going on right there. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that Recommended Collision Center, they are sponsoring our show, and we appreciate them so much. And don't forget, Brandon will be giving his recommendations for fantasy basketball for that. And I'm curious to see who he's going to be picking, because sometimes you can't pick your heart, and that's the big problem with me right now with Alabama. The stuff that's going on with Alabama has got me so frustrated. I can't understand it. I don't understand why people have to do the things that they do, and then they get caught, and then it's like, this guy's the second leading scorer on Alabama's basketball team, and he gets
2 felonies.
Yeah, I think so. So what we're talking about is Aiden Holloway was arrested Monday morning. Basically right after they got back from the tournament. He was right there in Tuscaloosa. And it's just like, there's always those things that you talk about. And a lot of people have said, oh, yeah, Alabama, their police officers in Tuscaloosa, they let the players go and they take care of the players and all that. And they may have. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they haven't in the past. But I am saying on Monday they didn't. This morning they didn't. So, it's just part of it. For me, I can't feel good about this team. With you seeing the second leading scorer now being arrested, so what if he comes back and plays? It's still a distraction. That's the part that's bothering me. Not only did we have the whole Charles Bediako thing that kind of put a stain on our season all the way through, now you got something like this. And look, I get it. People make mistakes. I'm not Mr. I can't throw stones at somebody because I've got a glass house as well. So there's, I'm not trying to harp on this bad kid, but that's a bad choice he made, and I'm not happy about it for the Alabama basketball team.
What was it? It wasn't violence. Was it drugs? What was it?
It was drugs. Yeah, it was over the amount of poundage for marijuana. Oh, and so just a bad situation. It's not looking good. It's not going to be any good because I don't understand it. Like, you've got a bright future. Why would you mess it up with that? Out of all the things you could do, like, just go shoot. Go to the basketball gym. Let them go into the facility. And, why do you feel like you have to do this extracurricular stuff?
Well, they say that, marijuana is not addictive, but why aren't these people kicking it?
It's like every time you turn around, there's more problems with it. Yeah. And I just don't understand it. It's a problem. It's something that is ruining our ability, because Alabama, as bad as as bad as this is, they really don't have a bad road. And the reason is because Texas Tech has had a plethora of injuries. Alabama, if they can get past Hofstra, which some people have already picked Hofstra to beat Alabama.
I heard.
And so you've got Texas Tech playing Akron, which Akron, they could give Texas Tech all they want. and then Alabama playing against Akron. But then you got to think they got to play Michigan. You know, that's where it's gonna be the big deal. So realistically, Alabama is on the Iowa State, Michigan, Virginia side, Tennessee side. But really, when you look at it, Michigan, they probably have the easiest route of all the teams.
Okay, so who's the 2 seed?
Iowa State.
That's Iowa State. Okay, that's the upset alert. I'm not saying I'm picking Iowa State, but that's the only upset alert Michigan's got. Because you play the 8, and then you got the 4 or 5, which the 4 and the 5 might not be who you playing. You might be playing a 12 Akron.
Right. You could be playing a 12 or a 13. I mean, honestly, because Alabama, with all the problems and how they've looked up
I'm not
and down.
picking Hofstra. I'm going to tell you right now.
And then
Bama's not going to hate me for this one. Bama's going to win. But I have Akron beating Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And then Alabama can beat Akron.
Yeah.
And then Alabama's going to be playing Michigan in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
So do I sound like a Bama hater? I'm not right now. I might have been in the SEC tournament, but now I'm talking about them being in the 3rd round, which is Sweet 16.
Alabama getting Michigan out of all the number 1s. Do you think Alabama looks good against them?
No.
Who would you think they would have the better shot at out of the 1s?
Nobody.
They're
not going to beat. If anybody, they could possibly beat Michigan, maybe. But no, I'm sorry. I'm not having it.
Have you ranked your 1s? What do you think about your 1s? Do you think
Arizona? And,
Not Duke.
I've been talking about
Not
Duke. I've been talking about Duke. But there's a good chance when I fill out my bracket tomorrow, I'm going to probably have Arizona win it all.
Yeah. So you think Arizona's number 1? Who do you think's number 2, 3, and 4?
It's a toss-up between Duke and Michigan for the 2, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I don't care that Michigan lost to Purdue. I do not care.
So that means that Florida is your bottom number 4 of the 1s.
Yes, of the 1s.
You're going to turn into a resident Florida hater. You hated them during football season. You talk really bad about DJ Lagway, about Billy Napier, about Lane Kiffin coming, and now you're talking about Todd Golden's Florida Gator basketball team that realistically could win it all. Don't you think they have a shot with the way that they're situated on that side?
What do you want me to say? 5% chance?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That low?
That low. Well, if you're one of the 4 1 seeds, you're automatically around 25%, right?
Yeah.
They're definitely way below that.
But I'm just saying, it does matter who you're matched up against, and it does matter where you're playing on the bracket.
And they
you put them down at the 4, but just because they're the 4th of the 1s, they could be the best. They could have the easiest side of the bracket, which I personally believe that they do. I think Michigan's is 2nd, and I do think Arizona is 3rd. I think Duke's got the hardest bracket on that side. I do.
I'll disagree, but that's okay.
Who do you think?
I mean, the thing is that Duke is able to weather that storm of that bracket, and I don't think that bracket is a 1 or 2. Absolutely not.
What do you think which side is the toughest bracket?
Well, it's not the West. The West is not the strongest bracket.
So you're saying the South? So you're totally in a difference of opinion to me.
See, here's the difference between it. Like, if you're talking about the Midwest, is that what they call it? Not the North? It's called the Midwest?
Midwest.
That's Michigan's bracket. You're looking at 4 SEC teams spread out. You have the, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah. You got Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying any of those teams are getting to the Final Four, but I'm just saying, like, as far as it being solid, it's a pretty solid region. But the problem is that your 2 seeds, if you don't believe in them, like UConn possibly, and you are believing in Houston, it makes my level of what I think your region, how strong it is. And that's how I feel about UConn is not as strong and makes that Duke region a little bit weaker, where the Houston makes the Florida region a little bit stronger.
The South region, The West is what you're saying is the toughest because you got Arizona, Villanova, Wisconsin, Arkansas, BYU, Gonzaga, Miami, Purdue.
I'm just
those are the top.
Arkansas
ranked.
and Purdue just won 2 big conference tournaments.
Right.
So I'm just talking about 3 teams in that region. and that's Arizona stuck with Purdue and Arkansas.
Yeah, they got Arkansas and Purdue.
Good.
Yeah, their 4 is Arkansas.
I don't want to know about anybody else's. Those 3 teams.
Those Gonzaga doesn't scare you.
I'm not worried about that. No.
But then on the Michigan side, their 4 is Alabama. Their 3 is Virginia, who you really like.
Oh yeah, I really do like.
ACC
and I
tournament.
thought there was a small possibility that they could have got a 2 seed, but it didn't happen.
Would it shock you if Virginia was to be the one that come out of that bracket?
No,
from
it's not
Iowa
shocking
State?
me. Not shocking me at all. Will they lose by 4 points to Duke?
Yeah.
And I'm saying Duke is injured and all that, but I've been picking Virginia.
But you're buying Duke being tough because, to me, when you look at Duke, you've got Ohio State, you got St. John's, you got Kansas, Louisville, Michigan State, UCLA, UConn. So none of those teams scare you at all. St. John scares me.
St. John scares me a little bit.
And see, that's the Elite 8 game that they would have to play.
Did you see St. John's take out UConn?
Yeah, they just smacked them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, they didn't just beat them, they smacked them.
By 20.
Right. And the thing is that UConn is the second seed on that side.
Mm-hmm.
So unless St. John's can go through Duke, they won't see UConn.
They won't. You're right.
But, for me...
So that's why I got Duke going to the Final Four.
So you must think that Florida's side of the bracket is all because of Houston.
Yes. That's
but
all.
See, to me, the
it
other
only takes one team to knock you out.
But they wouldn't play them until the Elite 8.
Yeah.
And but on the other sides, you got like these teams that you talked about that are scrappy. That you were saying like Hofstra and Akron.
Like, no, I'm not impressed. Alabama's going to take care of Hofstra.
But Akron, you think they might have a shot?
Yeah,
you're very high on Virginia.
Yeah,
you're very high on. Are you very high on Purdue or no?
Yeah.
But you are on.
They surprised me.
But you are on Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they did. They just won a conference tournament
because they can score.
They can score. But Vandy, don't count them out. Also,
well, and that's the side that they're not beating Florida 2 times in a row.
I know.
They're not going to beat them back to back. There's no way that's going to happen. As much as you try to hate Florida, much as you try to hate the Gators, it's not going to happen. The Vanderbilt Commodores are going to be headed back to Nashville if they have to play the Gators. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. I'm probably going to pick the Gators. I'm going to tell you right now.
Don't pick them now.
No, against Vandy. But Vandy's going to make them have a run for it. Florida's going to have to play physical basketball against that shooting team.
Yeah.
Because Vandy can shoot.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this NCAA tournament that's going to be quickly starting very soon. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 studio line. It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance
experience with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Lights, camera, action. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. Who will be this year's Cinderella? Listen exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Coach Stephen Pearl. Your home for Auburn basketball on the Panhandle is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the most opinionated sports talk show on the Panhandle. This is the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Magic basketball. Don't forget, tonight they play the Hawks. Tomorrow night they play the Hornets. 2 wins over 2 teams that start with the letter H. That's what we're going with. Either way, so glad to have you joined us today. Got Jeffrey in the building, Bone Crushers here. If you want to be a part of the show, you can call in, text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. The Red 7T's phone line, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. We could never get Brian back on the building, back on the phone. So I just wanted to say that if you are in the market or you're here, maybe you're on spring break and you're listening to the show, thank you, by the way, run over there by PCB Hobby. They've got all of those cards. They've got Magic. They've got Pokemon. They've got coins. They got comic books. They got all kinds of stuff over there. You don't want to not go and visit them. It's right there by Florida Linens on Back Beach Road, and they're you can look them up on PCB Hobby on Facebook and on their website, and it's some pretty good stuff over there. They also have a place in Orlando, but if you're here right now, having a place in Orlando does not matter. Go to the one here. But yeah, you know, and hopefully Brian gets back. You know, we value Brian. We're thankful that he tried to call in and just was unsuccessful, just like Auburn was unsuccessful, unfortunately. I know they made a big deal about it. I wanted to talk to you, see what you thought about that. Bruce Pearl was a commentator for the ACC, SEC tournaments. And when they brought it back, and then they brought him onto the selection show as well. And do you think it was okay to go straight to him after he realized that Auburn was not going to get in? You got to understand, that's his son. It ain't just a place where he was coaching, but it was his son. And with that being said, do you think it was, I don't know. I mean, if my son was coaching there, I couldn't say anything negative, but he kind of has to because they didn't do what they were supposed to do to get in the tournament.
Did they win 20 games?
No.
Did they win 17?
Yes.
Is that good enough?
No.
Who'd they play in the SEC tournament? Who did they lose to? Nobody remembers.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers. It wasn't Ole Miss.
No.
It wasn't an upset. They were in the bottom half of the conference. Why are you expecting to be in?
It's just because of their wins that they had. They brought up the whole thing.
They upset like one team in the middle of the season.
They brought up how tough of a schedule that they had. They played all these tough teams.
You lost 15 games, man.
Yeah, you don't deserve it.
No.
Right?
You absolutely do not deserve it.
Do you think that the job's too big for Stephen Pearl?
Okay, look. When you become a head coach, when you're assistant coach, you probably don't realize everything that a head coach does and has to do and the adjustments that they have to make. When you become a head coach, you have to make these adjustments. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, you'll continue to not be good, and you won't be lasting in the head coach position. So, therefore, I think he could get better. I just don't know what kind of person he is and if he will learn and adapt to what he's doing wrong and fix the situation that he's in. Is it the athletes that he has? I'm not sure. Either get better athletes or train them better and get ready for your opponents. Because, to be honest with you, most of the time, this guy will be gone next year.
Well, and when you look at what the expectation is, because Bruce Pearl, this is the same team. Obviously, he had people leave. Don't get me wrong. Plus the coach leaving. Yeah. It's always hard to follow. I mean, I would call Bruce Pearl a Hall of Fame coach. I would. He's going to make the College Basketball Hall of Fame one day. He's going to make it. He's won a lot of games here at Auburn. He won a lot of games at Tennessee. And that's just part of it. He's going to do it. And when you follow someone, especially as your dad, it's a hard thing. Oh, yeah. But you got to understand something. The basketball teams in the SEC are pretty much, if you look at how much money they spent, because you said talent. You were talking about talent. You were talking about the players that they have on their team. Yeah. Kentucky's got the only $20+ million roster. Yeah. And they've got $22 million roster. And by the way, a 7 seed. Yeah. And they got a $22 million roster. Yeah. So I don't even know if what you're saying really holds salt, really, because
you don't think they have the athletes.
You don't have to spend the money on the athletes. You got to put out there a team that can play together. There's so many things that's made up of that. You can have one really good player and a lot of other people that can support that player, and you got what team that I would call Arkansas. You know, that's the kind of teams that you got to, I mean, when you got it, you got it. When you don't, you've got to build around one player. But anyway, Vanderbilt, $10 million plus. Florida, $10 million plus. Texas A&M, $10 million plus. Arkansas, $10 million plus. Tennessee, $10 million plus. Missouri, $10 million plus. What does all of those teams have in common?
They're all in the tournament.
They're all in the tournament, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Next number. The next team.
Eight.
No.
Eight plus, right?
No. It's $10 million still.
Oh, still 10.
But they're just below Missouri. Auburn. All right? Now, listen. Keep listening, because I haven't called everybody's name yet.
Yeah.
10 million plus Texas. What are they doing, Jeffrey?
They're in the tournament.
They're going to play a play-in game to get in the tournament.
Yeah.
Next team, $8 to $10 million roster. Georgia. What are they doing, Jeffrey?
In the tournament.
They're in the tournament.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. LSU, 8 to 10. What are they doing? Sitting at home. Mississippi State, 8 and 10. They're sitting at home. Alabama, $8 to $10 million roster. Where are they at, Jeffrey?
They're in the tournament.
They're in the tournament. Ole Miss, $8 to $10 million. They're sitting at home. Oklahoma, $6.5 million. They're sitting at home. And South Carolina.
They were left out. They didn't go to NIT?
I don't know where they're going.
I don't know.
We don't worry about the NIT.
Okay.
This is the Sports Blitz. This is not the Sports Blitz NIT tournament. We only talk about the bracket.
We're not
play.
the second-rate tournament.
That's right. We're not a second-rate show, so we're not talking about a second-rate tournament. Sorry. South Carolina, $5.5 million roster.
Yeah.
So that's the deal. Auburn has the money. Auburn has the players. Is it the possibility that Stephen Pearl is over his head?
And they have history of being successful because they made the Final Four twice in the last, 7 years?
Yeah, and you know as well as I do, when you make runs like this, they're with runs, what comes with runs? Expectations. Stephen Pearl has an expectation to duplicate what Daddy has done at Auburn. He did not duplicate it. They're going to give him some slack. They're going to let him coach this year. They're going to let him come back. But I'm telling you, if he doesn't make the tournament next year, you can go ahead and say he's gone.
I never would have thought of Auburn being a basketball school, but here we are.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the other team real quick. Obviously, we talked about the highest paid team in the SEC. It's Kentucky, 22 plus. $22 million, and they're a 7 seed.
And they're the highest paid as the SEC goes. I don't know nationally if they're like second or third or whatever, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
The 7 seed means that you're somewhere between 25 and 28th best in the nation.
Right.
That's not what you're paying.
No, you're paying for more than what you're getting. You're losing money here.
Yeah.
So the question is that if Kentucky doesn't make a big run, this is Mark Pope's second year, is he going to be on the hot seat next year?
Oh yeah. Next year, sure. Yeah.
What do you think I was going to say? Is he on the hot
I thought
seat
you were going to say hot seat this year.
No, there's no way they're not going to let you make the tournament and fire you at the tournament.
Some teams could do that because they're a little passionate.
Yeah.
And their expectations are really, really high. And are they playing Siena?
Kentucky is playing, I just saw them. They're playing Santa Clara.
Oh, that's it, Santa Clara. That's right. Sure.
So they've got a
Actually, they got, as far as a 7 seed, they have one of the easier teams to play, in my opinion.
Santa Clara, then they got to play the winner of Tennessee State and Iowa State. So that's their problem because the other
Iowa
7 is Miami and Missouri.
Which will be a closer game.
Yeah, because Missouri's got some athletes, but they've got to play Purdue. I'm not even going to say Queens.
But if you look at the other 7-10s, they're actually decent games.
UCLA and UCF. And then they've got to play the winner of UConn and Furman. Yeah. UCLA could be one of those teams that gets out of that bracket over there because Louisville, South Florida, Michigan State is above them.
Yeah, but the problem is
UCLA
is a 7. They're going to playing a 2 behind it.
Yeah.
And that's where they end. That's when they're done.
UConn.
They're probably still going to lose to the UConn.
I'm just saying, UConn, out of the 2s, you've got UConn, Purdue, Iowa State, and Houston. We already know you all but have shaved the UH on your chest for this bracket season because you're love and fawning for University of Houston. Who's your second best team? Iowa State, Purdue?
Iowa State.
Okay.
And then Purdue.
And then Purdue. So you're saying UConn is your 4th worst second.
They're the worst 2 seed in the tournament, but they will still be a 7.
You still think they'll be, I mean, we're not trying to give everybody your picks, but I kind of know where you're going. You're going to go with who's favored.
No. Because I'll look at the 3 and I'll say, hey, are they going to be playing the 3 or are they going to be playing the 6? And then I'll have to fill out my bracket from that point on. You got to start at the ends and you got to work your way into the middle.
Let me ask you this. Do you see this year being one of those years where somebody that is a 4, 5, 6, or 7 possibly upset a 2, a 1, or something like that and get into the finals or the Final Four? Do you think this year is finally going to be one of those years, or do you think we're going to stay with suit, go 1 or 2 all the way through?
I think that is a small possibility of a 4 or 5 beating a 1. I think there's a bigger opportunity for a 3, 6, or 7 beating a 2. Mm-hmm. And that sounds crazy because I believe in my 2s, but we'll see what UConn does and see how they play out because you can't just base it just on that St. John's loss. You really can't.
So do you think that 8 and below, they might as forget about it?
Yeah, but there's maybe a couple of 10s that could pull off upsets on 7s. And then, of course, the 12s and the beating the 5, there'll be one of those. Every year there's one of those.
To me, the biggest thing about the tournament, the biggest thing about the brackets is always number 1, if you don't have any injuries. You know, all it would take is for Arizona's best player.
Yeah.
One of the Boozer from Duke. Hoff from Florida.
Acuff.
Acuff from Arkansas. It could be their best player could go down. Now, I don't want any of that to happen.
No.
But that's always that possibility. That's number 1. Number 2 is fatigue. And that's a real thing. Now, obviously, they're only going to play 2 games. They'll have their rest. They'll do that. But as they fly and they go and they move and they do, and it does wear on you. This is a long season. They've been playing a lot of basketball. And that's the thing. But also the last thing, and this is to me the number 1 thing realistically that isn't physical. It's how you match up with the team that you're going to play. Because you don't have a lot of time in between to scout them. You just have to kind of go out there and do what you do and do what you do well. And that's what you always try to do. You know, a lot of coaches and a lot of people say, well, it's not about what they do, it's how we do it. So I think this is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be some upsets this year. I really do. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Orlando Magic basketball coming on right after the show. We appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Magic plays here.
Tonight, it's the Orlando Magic versus the Atlanta Hawks in a pivotal Eastern Conference matchup with playoff seeding implications. Tip-off coming up at 6 right here.
Your new home for select Orlando Magic games. The NBA is on. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. Tonight there will be a blustery wind out of the north, partly cloudy skies and 42. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 50. In the afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a moderate breeze right around 13 miles per hour with a high of 56. About the same at 61 Wednesday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal